Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to The Gun Show. The show in which we talk about the guns that kill the things that are trying to kill you. Our second episode is all about Gears of War 3, the climactic finale of Epic's burly and brutal third-person shooter series. They may not look flashy, but these guns get the job done for our brave Gears on the front lines and deliver some of the goriest executions in gaming. Blood and guts abound on this episode of The Gun Show. First up, it's the gun that launched 1,000 jibs, the icon of the Gears of War series, the old rev 'em and rip 'em, the Lancer. If you don't recognize this assault rifle served with a side of chainsaw, then you must have been living under a rock for the past 5 years. But if that were the case, then you'd be a locust and would be intimately acquainted with the Lancer. Yes, this is our idea of intimacy. The Lancer is a deadly and versatile weapon, but as always, be careful when charging in with your chainsaw blazing. Savvy enemies can interrupt your assault with a few bullets or by shouting at you, and the new lambent drones are all too happy to explode all over your nice sleeveless armor. Take your sweet revenge by downing a locust and performing the new Lancer-specific execution. Go on, get in there! Yeah! Gears of War 3 also lets you wield an earlier model of this famous firearm. The Retro Lancer is like the Lancer's ornery grandpa. Back in my day, we had to run across the entire battlefield uphill under heavy enemy fire and stick our bayonets right up our enemy. Okay, yes, Grandpa, and then we had to lift them right up into the sky like a big bloody hay bale, we know. Skewering enemies can be a risky proposition, but when you are successful, it is super satisfying. The Retro Lancer also shoots bullets, of course, and does more damage than its namby-pamby progeny, but you have to contend with decreased accuracy and a hefty recoil. Short, controlled bursts are the best way to bring your locust foes to their knees, so you can do this. They sure don't make them like they used to. When the combat gets close, the close pull out a shotgun, and Gears of War 3 has 2 distinct flavors on offer. The tried-and-true Nasher shotgun can still jib with the best of them, and if by chance you aren't familiar with the term jib, here are a few examples. Jib, 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 and jib. Getting a feel for the Nasher's range is important because beyond 10 paces or so, it's just not effective. Look for blood splatter on impact and listen for squishy bullet noises to gauge how well your shots hit. Look for a downed enemy's head and listen for the appreciative applause from the golf spectators to gauge how well your execution went. The second shotgun, the one that's new to Gears of War 3, is the sawed-off shotgun. No need to figure out the range on this one, it only works when you are very, very close. And when it works, it is very, very effective, even on multiple enemies. Now you see them, now you wear them. The sawed-off takes a long time to reload, so don't plan on firing 2 shots into the same foe. If you miss, get the heck out of there and live to fight another day. Or, die horribly. And here's an interesting bit of trivia. The sawed-off's unique execution was recently rated most likely to make you slip a disc in Cog Health Quarterly magazine. Another weapon that is oh so good for CQC is the Scorcher. An advancing enemy is scary. An advancing enemy spewing fire is wet yourself scary. Don't be embarrassed, it's a defense mechanism. Totally natural. The Scorcher is certainly intimidating, but as long as you keep some distance, you'll barely get your eyebrows singed. If you are too close, then you're gonna die in a fire. Unless... Extinguisher time! Extinguisher time! Extinguishing the flames and making a rhyme! Oh yeah! If only. When you manage to grab a Scorcher, wait until you're close to an enemy to pull it out, and then charge in there and light them up. The Scorcher execution illustrates why cremation is performed at special facilities and not right there on the battlefield. Yucky. Shifting gears to more long-range weaponry, let's take a look at the Hammerburst. This gun is more accurate than the Lancer, making it better suited for dealing with enemies at mid to long range. It's the only gun without a scope that lets you aim down the sights, and it's great for shooting that bit of your enemy that's sticking out from behind cover, or taking down a big bad from a distance, or targeting the spawn pods on a lambent stock, as your allies are so fond of suggesting. Despite the slower fire rate, itchy trigger fingers can get plenty of rounds out of the Hammerburst in a short amount of time, so be wary when closing the distance in multiplayer. Once your bullets have done their work, it's time for the gun stock to take over. And over. And over. And over. And over. And over. For even longer range kills, it's right there in the name, the long shot. This Sarin sniper rifle does some serious damage and can burst a locust's head like a ripe pumpkin. Like a whole patch full of scaly, snarling pumpkins. The long reload time makes nailing the active reload even more crucial, lest you get stuck cursing and whacking your gun instead of downing and then whacking your enemies like you're trying to ring a bell at a carnival. How about a nice big stuffed ticker for the lucky winner? If you prefer laser sights over magnified scopes, then the Torque Bow has got your name all over it. Not literally, I mean, those unlockable and downloadable weapon skins are only for your basic guns, but, you know, it's the gun you want. Once you've pried it from a locust's cold, dead hands, take aim and charge it up with the right trigger to see exactly where your explosive bolt will land. You can release the trigger at any point to fire, but unless you charge it up all the way, your shot may not penetrate as deeply as you'd like, and you may fail to achieve your goal of putting your enemy's inside parts on the outside. Fortunately, you can charge it without aiming, so that when you do aim, you'll already be at full strength. A fully charged torque bow shot will kill most enemies in one hit, and the execution, well, it's pretty clear what that does. 2 more explosive weapons lend your arsenal some much-needed boom. Starting, of course, with the boom shot. This big guy is as straightforward as they come. It's a grenade launcher. It launches grenades, and if thine aim be true, the grenades kill 1 or more of your enemies. It also packs a pretty decent melee punch. The heavy projectiles have a slightly arcing trajectory that can help you splatter foes behind cover, but the ultimate cover neutralizer is the Digger Launcher. New for Gears of War 3, the Digger Launcher shoots plucky little explosives that tunnel under the ground, then pop up and explode all up in your enemy's business. Take aim to see where your ordnance will hit, and then hope your enemies don't notice the ominous trail on the ground heading straight for them. Neither of these weapons carries a lot of ammo, but hey, executions don't need ammo, right? Right, guys? Yeah. That's it for the guns you can equip, so now we're gonna, what would you say? Pistols? Right, pistols. There are totally pistols, but, alright, let's make this quick. The snub pistol is your default sidearm and can be handy in a pinch, but come on. Chairman Prescott packs one of these things, and that guy is a total weenie. The Gorgon pistol is much better and works more like a miniature submachine gun. The high fire rate makes it great for close quarters meat shield battles, and hey, execution! Finally, there's the Boltok pistol. The magnum of the Gears of War world, this bad Larry can be used for all kinds of things, like bursting skulls, managing hostage situations, shooting switches, killing a Brumac, and even putting baby down for nap time. What? A baby corpser, guys. I meant a baby corpser. Jeez. The Boltok is a powerful sidearm that you shouldn't pass up. Pistol whip! We'll conclude this episode of The Gun Show with a quick rundown of those big, heavy weapons you find from time to time that can really change the tide of a conflict and cause all sorts of carnage. Meet the Mulcher! Chew 'em up and spit 'em out with this cranktastic machine gun. Mount it on some cover for improved aiming, or just fire it from the hip like the action hero you are. Execution! The Vulcan! Because any machine gun that takes only 1 man to fire is for sissies! The Vulcan delivers an absolute deluge of death to anyone downrange, and is the only gun you need to recruit a teammate to help you with. Get over here and load my gun, gear! Execution! Too many bullets for an execution! The Mortar! Rain hot holy death on your enemies and take out entire groups at once! Execution! The One-Shot! How did it get that name? Are you seriously asking me that question? I didn't think so! Mount! Aim! Destroy! Execution! The Cleaver! Technically not a gun, but still a heavy one. Execution! The Hammer of Dawn! Handheld orbital death with, surprise, an execution! And with that, it's over! Which execution was your favorite? What is your preferred multiplayer loadout? How many ones could a one-shot shoot if a one-shot could shoot ones? Comment, people! And hey, extinguish your time! Extinguish your time! Extinguishing the flames and making a rhyme! Oh yeah! Thanks for watching The Gun Show!